Hello everyone, it's your favorite mad scientist, Hansa00, and I am here right now to show off my build for the Minecon build content 2012, yeah. I'm recording this because one of my friends wanted to see what I've been doing, and I figured why not. So I'm just gonna jump right in and show off what this does. Obviously, as you can probably tell, my build is not anywhere near done. It's not very big or anything. But I'm still working on it. This is just a prototype. So far, I've been working on the redstone, getting it all to work. Really, that's all I've done. So this thing works. It's not very pretty, but it works. So let me get some minecarts because you need minecarts for this. For those of you who can't tell, which are probably a lot of you because it's not done. What I've sort of jumped into here is trying to make a Paris metro. The theme for the build has to be, I don't know, was it wonderful Paris, magical Paris? I don't know, something like that. So it's something about Paris, and I thought, what does Paris have a lot of? Well, Paris has a lot of metros. And since I very much enjoy using redstone, I thought, well, let's how do you well yeah, well metro, that's a perfect redstone thing. You have minecarts. So that's a build I decided I wanted to do, mostly because there are a lot of pretty builds. Now there's some builds around here where you can see that are on this server. They're not done yet, any of them either, I assume. There's a lot of pretty builds, but I don't see a lot of functional builds, and that's what I decided. Well, I want to do something that's pretty, and this will hopefully at some point be pretty. It's not done yet, as I said, but it's also functional. It does something. Um, so that's sort of what has been my most important point with this build. So I'm gonna show you here my prototype. This is the first thing I did. This was sort of a design idea for how a platform should look, but I had to redesign that for technical reasons that I'll show you soon. But here we have my prototype build of the station mechanism. I'm gonna run through it fast. We start up here with the dispenser. It has 6 carts because that's how long my trains are. Basic timer to dispense the carts. Now the reason why I have this sort of down over kind of thing is because even though the dispenser dispenses the minecarts at an even interval, it sort of gives an uneven train, and it's not really, they're not close enough together, and well yeah, and that. So the way I worked around that is I have all my minecarts go down here, and you'll see that in a second when I try it off. They all go down here, and before they can like go back, the other one like piles on top. So all of the minecarts get piled onto one train, sort of, that gets pushed down into this end, and then it goes off in this direction. And that has the effect that the minecarts are, well, they're very much more compacted. They are like neck to neck, as you can say. They're running right after each other, like you would expect a train. You know, you'd have the carriages being behind each other, not miles apart. So that's the function of this thing here. Then the idea is they come in here, they hit this pressure plate, which has delay, obviously, hit up to an RS NOR latch. And then the idea is, since this power track is on, the minecart train is going to come in here, it's going to hit this wall, and it's sort of going to push itself, like, expand itself out. And then, when all the minecarts get in here, this RS NOR latch is going to get deactivated or activated, depending on how you look at it, by these delays. So the minecarts don't go anywhere, so they don't like, you know, bounce off this wall and go off into the distance that way. We don't want that. So that's what happens here. And then I have my little lever over here. What that does is it's gonna flick over these two. They both do the same, they're just inverted. The idea is here that this block gets pulled back, then the track gets pushed out, so there's a clear track out here. And then the opposite happens over here. The track gets pulled in and the block gets pushed in the way, so it's stopping here. Now the function of this is, I mean, this block, I just told you that this is here for stopping the minecarts when they're coming into the station, so that block has to be there. And then when the minecarts are getting out of the station, obviously there shouldn't be a block because they need to go out. And This block is here to fulfill the minecart mechanics in vanilla, which is that when a minecart is standing here, even though the track is powered, it won't go anywhere because there's nothing pushing it. So either there has to be a hill, but the hill I don't like very much for this because a hill isn't exactly very functional for a minecart station. It doesn't look very nice to have a hill in the middle of your station. But what else works is that, and that's what this does, that you have your cart here, and then right now nothing would happen because nothing is pushing it. But when that track gets pulled in and the block gets pushed out, suddenly there's a block behind this track, which means that any cart on this exact track will get sped up that way. And then if there are any other minecarts here, they'll just get pushed along by that one minecart. So when you toggle the switch here, you can see the block goes in and it makes the minecart start pushing. And that's how you make the minecarts leave the station. So if we just take out these minecarts, now let's see. Oops. Let's see the full prototype in work. So we start by dispensing minecarts. We want minecarts to come down at the station. So we just pull that. And you can see. Oh, did I not have any minecarts in here? That's strange. That's not how it's supposed to work. Hold on, give me a moment and I'll find out what's up and I'll be right back. There it works. For some reason, I don't know why it didn't work. I just replaced the delay. So you can see all the minecarts piled together down here, and then they get pushed off, sort of even, not entirely, but even enough. They compress against this wall here, and then they sort of push out, and you can see they're now perfectly standing here. Like if this was a platform, you could board the carts, and you can, like you would want to do at a station. And then when you want the train to leave, all you have to do is push this lever here, and you see the block gets pushed in the back, and it makes the minecarts push each other. So that's the mechanism and function. Obviously, this got pushed back. That's just because there's nowhere for the carts to go here. So that's obviously not going to be like that in the final version. So if I go up here, now I don't have. Let me just stop this. Actually, let me stop this like that. So yeah, if we go up here, as you can see, we don't really have any wiring down here under the pistons, nor here. I just have some torches expanding these pistons, which hold the track out. So here we don't have any functioning redstone yet. We don't have, the system isn't here. But the basics of it is, we have the track, we have the pistons, and we have some of the pistons besides to pull in the track, and we have some of the pistons below to push out the block, simply for an aesthetic purpose. This was the best I could do. Now you have to imagine the minecarts standing around like that. Kinda. So I didn't want this to be taller because this like sorta seems okay. I think this edge is a little high up, but there's not much I could do since I needed a piston below here for this track. I couldn't really. This was the neatest way I could figure out of doing it. So yeah, the system isn't working, but the aesthetics are built. The basic track is there. You can see the detector rail here. It has the same distance as it has over there. So that's all in order. All the track has been placed as it should be. The redstone is just missing. And then I decided to add another little feature, which was these blocks of wool here. Now it might seem a little random there's a block of wool, but it actually has a purpose. It's supposed to indicate a signal like you'd usually have on a rail line. And obviously a block of wool, it's not very pretty, but given the limited space in this tunnel that I sort of made, I decided it was the best I could do. Now down here I have a double extendable block swapper, because if it has to be double, because if it wasn't double then some of the redstone would have to be like right here and that would look very, very bad. I didn't like that. So I found a way to make a double extendable piston swapper, block swapper. So you can see now you have the green wool block up here. You just toggle it here, it does its magic, and boom, red. So the idea here is, right now I have a button. Obviously I'm going to want to hook that up to the redstone. But the idea is, by default it shows the red state, right? You have the red on here. And then like a second before the carts start going, it changes to green. Then, like we saw over there, the carts get dispatched, or whatever you'd say. So the carts start going, the train passes the signal, and then either I'm going to have, I don't know, detector rail, or just based on timing. The idea is like after the train sort of passes around this point here, the block becomes red, as you'd have in reality, indicating that the line ahead is not clear and a train should not start going. And that's purely for aesthetic purposes, really. I mean, I just thought it looked really cool that you can stand here to platform and see green, train goes, red. But really, it doesn't have a function in the system as such. That's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, I have a little platform here. There's not a lot to it yet. I've made a little walkover crossing thing. If you at least I find them very often on stations, like for personnel to cross the tracks if they for some reason need to. But obviously, like you wouldn't usually do that. You're not allowed to as a pedestrian or as a normal person who doesn't have any business doing so. So that's just I mean that again that's really for a sort of a feel of aesthetic purposes. It's not it just adds a feel of a real metro station. I think it's not really useful in any way. And we have the station down here, or the tunnel down here, with the black wool wall just to like sort of give an effect of a longer tunnel than there actually is. So that's what I have so far. I hope you enjoy it, and if there's anything you want to know more in depth about how I've done it and why I've done it and so on, leave a comment. I'll try to explain it. I might do some tutorials at some point on some of the stuff. For now, I'm a little busy with this competition, so it won't be anytime soon. But maybe sometime I'll find the time to do that. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked my video, even the slightest, give it a like. Really appreciate it. I don't know what to say. So yeah, but I'll be back. Hopefully I'll make a video once I'm actually done with this whole build, so you can see it. And yeah, thanks for watching. This has been Hansa00 with my content build, contest build for the Minecon build contest. And yeah, see y'all next time.